party to the money with no wedding ring. I'm putting money over everything. I'm putting money over everything.
Everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to yet another Amazon seller journey interview. I say the word interview, I don't like using it, it makes it sound really formal. As you guys know, it is a relaxed chat session, and today I am joined by young entrepreneur Champton. Champton, thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing today?
Matt, I'm fine. Thank you very much for bringing me on. It's a pleasure to speak with you and to work with Bible Go yet once again.
Awesome. I mean, your face is so excited for this. I know how excited you are to do this. So
I'm trying to hide it. I'm trying to hide it, but I can't. I just can't stop smiling, man. I'm telling you, I didn't even sleep all night. I've just been thinking, interview.
yeah.
You know?
Is that what the bit of sleep that you had was? Was it like picturing it and like, oh, how am I going to answer? Like,
That probably 80-20, 80% excitement because I've made it. And then the other 20%, just a little bit anxious, like, am I going to be able to endure the whole interview question? Is my journey going to be as good as other people? You know, when you just do the comparison, I just told myself, listen, it doesn't matter. Just enjoy the experience, enjoy the journey. I'm
yeah.
very fortunate to, work with you guys. So I'm just taking it how it is, man.
I mean, it's all about you. And I mean, as everyone who watches knows, like no two of these sessions are exactly the same. Like no one's journeys are linear. No two are like identical. So like
Yeah,
your story is your story, and that's what we're here for. Um,
100%.
so we're gonna get right into it. So
Okay.
if you wouldn't mind just telling us a little bit about yourself and then how you came across the Amazon opportunity and how you got started. Just paint us a picture.
Yeah. So obviously I'm 22 as of right now, but since about 15, 16 years old, I've always been not obsessed, but almost addicted to Wi-Fi money. And I've always been seeing, these adverts coming online, say you can make money through this or make money through this way. And there was a few various methods I tried. The first ever one was drop shipping. I remember I had my first website and everything made when I was doing my GCSE. So while I was actually writing my GCSE questions, if there was something difficult, especially in a math equation, I would try and think of it like it's my business. So, okay, fine, there's 20%. How much has it gone down in percentage? So I'd always do that. And that was my first part of Wi-Fi money. It was actually drop shipping. I tried that, but because I didn't have a lot of money then, I barely had any money. I'll be honest. I was just relying on pocket money from my parents. I never had enough money to actually run advertisements. So what I would try to do, I'd go on Facebook, throw a little fiver on there, see if Facebook ads is going to work with that. But I didn't even understand the concept. I was just using what I'm learning from YouTube. So I'm thinking, okay, let me try see what I can do with the £5. Got no sales, nothing, not even any sessions, no visitors on my website. 40 years later, I came off dropshipping. Now I'm in college. I finished my GCSEs. I'm in Reigate College, and I want to try it again. But this time, when I did stop, I was still watching the YouTube videos. You see, so I knew what to do. I really knew the business model very well. I just never had capital to do the marketing. But I decided, okay, fine. Facebook's not the only way to market. Of course, there's other options. So I started going through social media. I started shouting I could even mention a few celebrities that you may be familiar with. There was a guy from Love Island, I think his name was Sharif. He was kicked out after the second episode for doing something against, of course, Love Island's policies.
Yeah.
I shouted him. That's a weird story. He scammed me, okay? He scammed me. He took my money through Instagram DM. He never, posted anything, literally blocked me instantly. So that didn't work out. So, my money was gone. Asked my sister for some more money. And I said, okay, fine, let me find another influencer who's not too big, but is on the come up. And the first person I actually messaged was Harry Pinero. I messaged him before he was even famous, before he was doing his deals with Foot Asylum and etc. I told him, hello, Harry. I had made some sort of, ad copy. This is literally my video, some terrible, writing at the top. I said, Harry, can you please just promote this on your Instagram story? He posted that, and I'll be honest, I think it was about £65 he charged me for a 24-hour post. Mm-hmm. That one still made no sales, but I got a lot of sessions in. So I had about 300 and I can't remember the exact numbers, around 300 and something visitors on my website. So then I had visitors on my website. So now I knew, okay, fine, people are coming on the website, but what's going on? I was able to track what's going on with the customer journey, and I could see if nobody's adding to cart, people leave their website the moment they get on their landing page because my funnel wasn't set up properly. I wasn't enticing them in. I wasn't hooking them in. The website looked good, but there was something I was still missing. So I decided, okay, fine, I've run out of money. Let's try something else. I left Instagram DMs. I went on Snapchat and I started seeing people just, doing Snapchat promotion. And there was a comedian. barely well known. He's still, I think, on the come up even today. His name was Mike's Comedy. He's, you know, people have made a few memes of him and they've gone viral. So I thought, you know what? He's got about 40,000 views on his Snapchat story and he's only charging £15 for promo. So I'm thinking, all right, fine, this, you know, it's too good of a deal to pass out on. I sent him my ad copy. I told him this is the link. Just write this. Don't even tag me. I don't want my, you know, account tagged. I wanted to attach the URL so people can just swipe up. And this was the first time. So I did that in the morning. Went to college, and obviously, come college time, I'm telling you, Matt, I was a nerd. When it came to lecture, all I wanted to do was, you know, make my mum proud, get my results. I was doing double business and I was doing law. I wanted to just get my result so I can go into uni. So I wasted no time. Break time, lunchtime was always in the ILC, just doing my coursework. So because I had finished my coursework in time, what would I do? I'd go on the ILC, just watch YouTube videos. Now I'm watching my YouTube video in college. The same day I've just paid my comedy to promote my stuff. And I hear ting. I remember it's a library, so it's so quiet. But the Shopify noise is coming in like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And dude, like this was like proof of the pudding. This was probably like the second year of college. So this was literally me 3 years from the moment I did my GCSEs to the second year of college. First I'm actually making sales. So I'm thinking, wow, this is good. This is working. I'm excited. Got to a point where it was like just under £200 in sales where it just went flat. You know what I mean? So I was wondering what's going on? What do I need to do? I messaged my comedy, hello, can I get another promotion? For some reason, his account got taken down because although he was a comedian himself, he was also reposting other people's videos. And one of the videos he posted was a bit too much. Snapchat or somebody reported him, then he got blocked. So now I was back to square one, you know. But I knew Snapchat promotions work and they're cheap. And it doesn't matter how good my website is, as long as it looks reasonable and legit. Not the best, but just has to look decent. Okay, fine, let me try that. I can make some sales. So I messaged a few other people, but for some reason, I don't know what it was. I think because I was getting close to finishing the second year, I had to focus on my university. So I was just focusing on finishing all my courses, getting enough UCAS points to get to uni. So I kind of left dropshipping for a little while. But while I had left it, there was another fella. His name was Jack. You know him from Jack's Amazon Club.
Yes, Jack. Yep.
Yeah, so he was in my same college, just 1 year, I think a year above me. And there was always little, you know, rumors like, yeah, this guy's making money from Amazon, this guy's doing this. And I always heard it, but I never thought much to it. So I just ignored it. But just remember I said that, yeah? So I've left dropshipping, completely ignored it, focused on my university, finally got into London Southbank University Business School, took business management, enterprise and entrepreneurship, went there for 2 years. But I'm telling you, because it was during COVID, it got to a point where the moment COVID came in, it was literally Zoom calls. And I'm thinking, why am I paying 27,000 for Zoom calls? It wasn't fair. So eventually, you know what I mean? But before I dropped out, I remember because I stopped going into lectures and instead I would just go to the library and just do my work there because I was just thinking this is pointless. And I got to a point where I went to crossed over the road, went to the chicken shop, left the library, and I was saying, God, I really want to drop out. Just give me a sign. I want to make money. I want to be successful so I can help my whole family. I want to build a big company, a big organization. I don't know what to do, God. I've tried drop shipping. My heart's not in it no more. But I need to, God, I need the sign, you know? Yeah. And as I was saying this, I'm telling you this. A friend of mine had literally posted a picture of his Snapchat and it looked like he was drop shipping. Now I asked him, are you drop shipping? Like, what's going on? But he said, no, I'm not actually drop shipping. I'm actually selling these products and I'm selling them to Amazon. Yep. I was like, so how does that work? And he broke it down to me. So I understood the basics of it. So I said, all right, cool, that works. But then Amazon, I barely know nothing about it. All I know about Amazon is Jack, you know what I mean, from college. That was like a year ago. I don't know where he's at now. We're not going to be in touch. So I said, God, just give me a sign. And what should I do? Should I go back to my lecture? Or should I start dropshipping again, get back into it, even though my heart's not in it? Or should I look more into this Amazon thing? And as I was saying this, the shop is a chicken shop. Outside, there's like a few chairs you can sit on. And obviously, London being London, I know this is very common. You're always going to see nice cars. But I'm telling you, I saw a Rolls Royce Cullinan. And it's my favorite car. So I just thought this was God giving me a sign, even though the times coincided from the moment I asked God to give me a sign and a rich guy was driving it. But I took that as a sign. And from there, I'm telling you, I went back to that library, finished my coursework, but now I know, okay, fine, the assignments for this term are done. Let me just focus on Amazon. Every time I'm going home on the train, I'm literally looking at Amazon, studying it. They say, okay, fine, you can look for wholesalers. I'm literally going through the generic basic wholesalers, Max Wholesale. I'm trying to look for a product there. I'm seeing all of these groceries that my mum buys. And then I'm thinking, how the hell is this going to sell? There's no way this is going to sell, but I'm just going through. I know nothing about it, but I became obsessed. I became addicted to it. Fast forward, probably a few months later, I've dropped out of college. no, not college, my apologies, university. And I've told myself I'm just going to go all in on this Amazon stuff. But before I dropped out, I met a friend. His name was Agent, a very good friend of mine. You know, he showed me a different side to business as well. Because I just knew sell stuff online, but he started showing me how to make content, blah 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 blah. This. So when I dropped out of university, I started actually getting some products in, and I think it was around April last year. Yeah, around April last year, I decided, cool, I'm just gonna take the plunge. This time I've got no mentorship. All I've learned about Amazon is everything that I can get free.
Yeah.
YouTube, TikTok, you know what I mean? So I think all they say is buy low, sell high. How hard can it be? Let me do it. I literally just went on Harrison's and Direct. I did not do no product analysis, nothing. I literally, first 3 products I saw, boom, 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 buy it. 2 of those products, Amazon was selling them. The other third one was a dangerous goods one. But I'm thinking, oh, now they're not going to let me sell this dangerous goods. How do I go around there? I go on YouTube, learn how to, apply for the hazardous goods application. Done that. I prepped everything, sent it to Amazon. And those products sold out within a week. And remember, when I priced them, I didn't even look at what other people are pricing. I just priced it, I just threw a number in it. I didn't care if Amazon was taking more money. I didn't care if I was losing money or not. I just wanted to see, is this concept really good? I know it works for other people, but will it work for me? And I sold out all of those products within a week. And I was so surprised because I was thinking, wow, I didn't even do nothing, but the sales are there. So from that moment is when I knew, okay, cool, I'm in the right lane. This is what I need to focus on. Instantly, I started ordering more products, and then I started documenting my journey through TikTok because my friend Adrian, he does a few other things. He makes a Discord, charges people for a membership. He was even doing affiliate. He does a lot of things online, but he said, listen, while you're doing your journey with Amazon, you might as well start documenting. And I was like, well, what's the point of documenting? And nobody's gonna listen to me. I've got literally like 400 pounds on my Amazon dashboard. That's nothing. It's like, it doesn't matter whether you're losing money or not, just document it, get it out there on TikTok. And this is when TikTok was really getting there. This was probably like a year after it was a bit cringy to go on TikTok,
Yeah.
So I thought, all right, fine. If that's the case, Edwin, let me do it. I started just documenting my Amazon journey from when I buy a product, from when I'm selling the products, from when I'm even trying to, because obviously I got to a point where I started doing retail arbitrage, started getting my phone out, started recording it, getting back home, editing the videos, started picking up, started doing well. And of course, with TikTok, as long as you're consistent, it builds a lot of momentum. And I remember there was one of those videos probably got like, I think, 80k views. And from that gave me just 1,500 followers. So then that's when I knew, okay, cool, I need to stick on TikTok. But my biggest downfall was not being consistent on TikTok, because the moment you lose your momentum on TikTok, the algorithm doesn't favor you no more. Some people even said the moment you lose your momentum on TikTok, you might as well just build a new account. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But from there, started uploading, stopped doing retail arbitrage because it got a bit. I felt like I felt condemned to what was available in the stores. I could go to the store and they sold out. Okay, cool. You're not going to make any money today. Go the next day, still sold out. They haven't restocked. The clearance section is not even profitable. So I just felt condemned to, like, not condemned, but I felt vulnerable to what was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I left that and I started doing a bit of online arbitrage. Online arbitrage was decent. It was okay, but it didn't really stick there for me. The one that I was really more interested in is wholesale, because obviously I've been watching the videos online and stuff, and I'm seeing people just recording big pallets. That's not online arbitrage. That's not retail arbitrage. This is people, conversing with other companies, conversing with other brands, and actually making some sort of business deal where their business and their business work to synergize together so they both can make profit or a surplus.
Mm-hmm.
So I focused on wholesale. And at the same time, I'm still just doing the Amazon stuff based on everything that I've learned. I've got no mentorship at the moment. And I became very inconsistent. I remember I must have sold for 3-4 months on Amazon and then went inconsistent. Started again last year in November. And from November, I remember, of course, quarter four was going to be crazy. I started looking for what product I should buy. And then I ended up buying a product, sold out within 3 weeks. And I remember it was like £1,900. And then again, because the thing with the Amazon, why I love this business, it wasn't like drop shipping where my heart wasn't in it no more. The fire never dies. So all you just need is to see another sale, just to see that orange candle with, and it brightens your day. So when I saw 1,900 within 3 weeks, and I was just calculating, okay, fine. Let's say I was doing a 9 to 5. I'd probably be making about 1,600 before tax. You know what I'm saying? So 2 and 2 started going together. So I said, all right, fine. If I can do this much, I think at that point it was probably 2,000 in total, just on my own in terms of revenue, not profit. So gross. So I said, if I can do 2,000 on my own, how much more could I do with a mentorship? And from there, that's when I messaged Jack. I said, "Hello, Jack. You remember me? When college?" He's like, "Yes, Shanton, you live in Red Hill." We're basically from the same area. And of course, you don't know who to trust when you're trying to buy, courses or mentorship. But with Jack, of course, not just because I knew him, but on top of that, because of his testimonials, they were absolutely enough. Sometimes before I go to sleep, instead of watching the program, I would just literally go through testimonials and just read. So I just knew, okay, fine, here's my money, teach me. And from there, literally finished the mentorship about 2 weeks ago. And that's my journey as of so far.
Yeah. I mean, thank you so much. I mean, that was very detailed as well. So like, I mean, really appreciate that. And you've come like such a long way. Just a couple of questions that
Yeah,
picked up along the way. I mean, the first one really, I mean, you are probably one of the most determined people I've
hungry, man.
I've ever met. I mean, you don't really hear, I mean, you just don't really hear about, being 15, 16, and you've got that business mindset and it's
Yeah,
like clocked right in and you,
100%.
you truly follow it. Did it make you feel a little bit out of place with everyone else, given that, it's not such a common thing?
I'll
Or
be
was
well
it just,
said that you
I've
said
got
that.
that focus,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
You see,
Like,
now that's the thing. Even if it was uncommon for other people, I didn't really care. I knew, like, even, look, sorry to go on off on a tangent.
that's all right.
From all of secondary school, I've always either been getting in trouble, trying to make money, or always just doing something enterprising, like doing my after prom. You know what I mean? Selling,
Yeah,
not just selling sweets. I'm telling you, I'm not like the people. I never had money to go to the shops and buy sweets. I had to wait till Halloween, go trick or treating, come back the next day and sell those sweets. I'm telling you, I've always been trying to make money. And even for year 11, you get the book. Everybody's nominated for something. Most likely to be a celebrity. Blah blah blah. I was most
yeah.
likely, and I can show you the book now. Most likely to be a millionaire. Of 300 students, it was me. So when I was doing my drop shipping stuff, it felt like, okay, fine, this is the path. Like, this was destined for me. And I wasn't born here, I've come from China. So I'm thinking I need to give my mum a return on investment. You know what I mean? She's done everything that she can to bring me here. She's working hard, but I'm not gonna tell my mum, yeah, mum, you wife, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do that and help her out. So when I'm doing it, and some people are like, mate, is that even gonna work? That's a scam. But I couldn't care less. I just knew, Shampton, this is what you're doing. If other people are making money, you can do it too. And another reason I did the dropshipping thing is because those people selling cat socks, doing adverts on Facebook. These people were like 14, 13-year-olds, but they were using their parents' details and they were making thousands. So I was thinking, there's no way anybody can tell me otherwise. And even if anybody looks at me like, that's not something you should do, listen, you're not in the position I want to be in, so why would I listen to you? And I always had that mentality from young because I'm always listening. Even before doing dropshipping, I guess it's because I also had that in my subconscious. I always used to listen to Gary V, Ty Lopez, like when he was getting big, doing his videos in the garage. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Patrick Bet David, and that was back then, like from year 10 to 11. That's when I really got into business. So by the time I started, if anybody ever told me the business mindset was so strong because of these other people I was watching and listening to, nobody could ever deter me from my course of success, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, of course, we've gone into detail about drop shipping and stuff, and of course, different things work for different types of sellers.
Yeah,
In hindsight, now that you've done your drop shipping, and then obviously your heart was in it, and then this is when you started discovering Amazon, picking it up.
yeah,
And now you're finding successes through Amazon, and it's like as you say, it's a constantly burning fire.
100%.
And this is where your heart is. In hindsight, now that you've done both, and if you could go back and make any changes, would you have still done the drop shipping thing, or
Mm,
would you have done Amazon from the get-go? Like,
mm.
does that drop shipping experience still help you now? Did it help contribute towards maybe your like starting budget for Amazon? Like I know like your heart wasn't in it at a
Yeah.
certain point anymore, but would you say that the drop shipping thing is something that you're still thankful for having done?
That's a good question, man. And I'll tell you what, I'm absolutely more than happy it went that way because as much as I did make sales, there was so much that I learned in business. And bear in mind, I didn't even take business GCSEs like everybody else, but I learned so much about copywriting, ad copy, ad text, ad placement, demographic. I learned so much just from doing dropshipping that as much as I was scrolling and listening to motivational videos on Instagram, doing the actual business itself, whether you're making money or not, there's a lot you learn. So I'm happy it went through that way because that prepared me to be able to go off and now start learning another business on my own. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't say, oh, I wish I chose Amazon first. No, I'm happy I've done dropshipping, because dropshipping is almost like the whole ecosystem. You have to learn everything about the business. Where on Amazon, you just know how to product source, and of course how to read charts. There's not a lot to it, but I love the way it went like that, because it made me who I am. Do I wish I made some more money dropshipping? Of course. Would I have still stayed dropshipping if I didn't lose my, if I didn't lose my love for it? I guess who knows, but really and truly, I guess everything happens for a reason, and God made sure that I lost my love for it so I can find Amazon. Because I'll tell you what, with dropshipping, as much as I was doing, there was no communities, dude. I was literally watching videos from YouTube, but they're American YouTubers, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was almost like silo. There wasn't anybody in England really, really doing it like that, or marketing it, probably apart from Ecom King was, but he's obviously, of course, all the way in Manchester or Birmingham. Yeah.
And you also mentioned that it was quite a while before you went and got some mentoring and such. And but prior to that, it was whatever you could get your hands on
Yeah.
for free, which I
100%.
totally appreciate. Like, I fully admire that. Like, I'm a big believer in, like, pretty much anything free is good. So
100%.
especially
100%.
like information and such. And I mean, that's quite different as well, because there's lots of sellers that will start
Mm.
with some form of mentoring along the side. And I think I'm not saying it is easy to forget, but it kind of puts a gate on Amazon, like, oh, you can only get started with it if you do this mentoring,
Yeah.
if you get this course, which is wrong, because literally anyone can do Amazon.
Anybody.
And I
100%.
mean, your testament to it, whereby it was quite a long while before you before you went and got the mentoring,
Yeah.
whereby I would imagine part of why you got into that is because, you've been through so many free, so many free bits and pieces. Now you just need something whereby
Yeah.
it fills in any of the gaps and um,
That's it.
helps solidify everything that you know, so that way you can go forward and achieve even more success. Would
That's
you
it.
say that's right?
But yeah, certainly. And even another main reason I grabbed it is because although I knew I was product sourcing well, there was always that doubt in my head that am I doing it right? Because I'm just going through YouTube, and there's different ways to product source. So I'm thinking, is this the right way? So the mentoring really, really helped dial down everything, because
Yeah.
I would say for the whole mentoring, about 12 different sessions. 3 of those sessions were certainly needed, but because I had already had the experience,
Yeah.
I was aware of it. And those 3 sessions, they really honed down on what you're doing, Shampton, and what you could do better. And this is how to do it. Yeah, I could have been similar, but there was always a different bit to it. And when you're going on YouTube, it's very generic, but you do understand the basics. But what you need, especially when you're doing something like Amazon, you need to be specialized in the way you product source. So the mentoring really, really helped me, because it was like a stamp of approval. Like, okay, cool, this is how to do it. Don't even think of all these other ways. Just stick to this and do it like this. So it was very helpful in that regard, certainly.
Yeah. And I mean, also, since the fact that you do wholesale as well, I mean,
Yeah,
you've tried RA, you've tried OA, so I mean, you can speak for those things, and then you've decided that wholesale is the way to go.
certainly.
Do you have anyone that is in a similar position? They've tried RA, they've tried OA, but they're thinking, this wholesale avenue could be pretty good for me. Like,
Yeah.
what's a couple of bits of advice that you'd give to someone that's thinking about getting into the wholesale route?
What I would say is this. The reason I'm very big on wholesale is because that's what I do better in. There
Yeah.
is other people still making a killing with online, online retail and online arbitrage and retail arbitrage.
Yeah.
All of these variations of selling on Amazon, they all have their pros and cons. And of course, they're all as good as much as you apply a lot of pressure for
Yeah.
whatever you're selling. But wholesale, for me, the reason why I really, really love it is because there's more of a you can take pride in it, because you're communicating with business owners, you're representing your company, you're not just walking into a store buying it like everybody else does. It really makes you believe that you're actually running a business. It's a reminder of your subconscious that I'm actually certified. I can actually make phone calls, communicate. Okay, fine. Now I need to go away, learn better communication skills. Okay, how can I also improve my dialect and the cadence in my tone when I'm speaking to these suppliers? Okay, fine. Now I need to go and learn negotiation. Wholesale opens up more and more of the business compared to retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, because online arbitrage, you just press a few clicks, product comes the next day. Retail arbitrage, you go by the store, maybe you give a donut to one of the staff members there, see if they can go back to the shop, but wholesale for me is really it's a lot like drop shipping. It makes you see the bigger picture of it. It's not just one little quick way to make money. It's really a business. There's so many little intricacies of it that you can do to satisfy your business. And on top of that, the rewards are there as well. If you do it properly and you get better each time, the rewards and the profit always come.
Mhm.
Certainly.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, wholesale does like it does require a bit of like a bigger budget to get into.
It's
So
true.
through doing RA and OA, like did they help you build that up to then do wholesale? So like for you, like would you say that you could have gone straight into wholesale, or was it that you definitely needed to do some RA and some OA and go through those before you could then do wholesale?
Certainly. I was never ready because I've always struggled with with finances.
Yes.
So I never was able to just throw £2,000 to this because remember, I was still relatively new to everything and I was just going through what I've learned. So I
Yeah.
never wanted to fully commit a lot of money if I'm not doing it right. So retail and online arbitrage, especially to get my feet wet, yes, it did help when I could just go buy a product, even if it's 5, 6, 7 units, make a few bit of profit, save that, save that, save that. That did help me to alleviate me and expedite my process to a point where I can actually say, you know what, I've been looking at this wholesale product, I've been saving up, I've done all my research on this product. This product is a banger. I'm going to use the surplus that I've made from arbitrage onto this. So certainly, as a stepping stone, it's absolutely ideal, and that's probably the best part I would say that it's important for. But it's not a place that you should stay there. You need to think bigger, and you need to think if I really, really want to scale my business, you have to go wholesale. There's no two ways about it, unless you can make 10 versions of you and they all go to different supermarkets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But wholesale, definitely perfect if you want to see them big numbers.
And did you, so obviously building up your stock capital and such, and like making the money to add to it, like did you find it easy to know how to divide it up between like what you pocket and what you put into your stock capital? Like, did you find that easy, or did you find that, sometimes it was a bit uneven and then there was a bit of a learning process with
Yeah.
that?
Initially it was very confusing, especially because there was the point where I didn't actually understand how Amazon do the payments. So I just thought that I can just send my all of my products in, they're all gonna sell and I get all my money in bulk. But Amazon never does that. They will give you a portion of your money and then they'll keep some of it reserved just in case there's any refunds. So it was all of that. I just had to get my head around it. And of course, through the mentoring, I learned a lot of that. I could
Yeah.
ask questions and I understood. And it was from the moment I understood it, I was actually able to analyze how much I'm making, how much have I spent, how much did Amazon take? Okay, fine, this is what I'm pocketing. But when I did initially start, it was literally trial and error, trial and error. I spent £50 on some stocks. Okay, cool, I need some money back. Has Amazon taken too much? Am I in profit? It was more like that. You know what I mean? I never actually went into the financial intricates to actually see like, okay, fine, am I profitable or not? But in retrospect, I just knew as long as I got a bit more than what I invested, we're getting somewhere. There's progress. We're making motion.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Um, I'm sure, I mean, that bit of advice there, like, how you distribute it out. I mean, that's going to be helpful for like lots of people because, I mean, there's going to be so many people like in the same kind of boat, particularly when they're starting out and they've got to figure out everything for the first time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I mean, as well, like you've tried. I don't really think there's much that you haven't tried at this point.
I
Um,
haven't tried only Amazon to Amazon.
yeah.
That's the only thing I haven't really tried. No, but everything else Amazon wise, I've definitely, dipped my toe in it and given it a go.
Yeah. And so, I mean, do you have any sort of like goals or ambitions, anything that you want to do, like, I don't know, in the next year, in sort of like the next 5 years? Like, where is it that you want Amazon to take you? What do you want to achieve along the way?
Yeah. So I always think about this and I write it down every single week. Not every morning, I'm not gonna lie. It's every week when I get a chance, I write these goals. I want to do 1 million in Amazon, even if it's in 2 years' time. And out of that million, I want at least 50% to be ROI positive. You know what I mean? 500K. Because the first thing I want to do before I do anything in terms of buying stuff, I know retire my mum. And I know the best way I can retire my mum is paying off her mortgage. That way she doesn't have to work constantly trying to pay this mortgage. The moment I do that, give her some more money on top, I'll be left with probably like 100 grand. With that 100 grand, I just want to start a consulting company for um for online methods to make money.
Yeah.
And that includes Amazon because that's what I'll be specialized in. And of course, I'll be bringing in other people from other industries, whether it's trading, whether it's drop shipping, whether it's TikTok shop, making money on TikTok, whether it's YouTube. I want to have some sort of companies, like some sort of head office where I can go in, and anybody who's young and is trying to make money online, and let's say they're interested in, I don't know, making money off Snapchat, I can be like, listen, we cover that. We've got professionals here who have made loads of money through this. You know, come this way, we'll show you the way. The same way Amazon did for me, the coaches for Amazon mentors, and the same way those videos did for me. I want to build some sort of ecosystem that can bring people in and do that, and eventually sell that off. And I actually want to do, before I pass away, of course, in the future, I want to start a robotics company. Because of course, before dropshipping and all of that, I had a clothing brand, but the clothing brand obviously emerged from the dropshipping, and it was a heated jacket. And I've always been fascinated with putting technology within fashion. And I always told myself, once this clothing business, you know, blows up and succeeds, I want to actually make a bra that tells people whether they're developing cancer. I want to make a belt that you can put on, and it'll tell you, wow, Matt, from last week, last time you wore this belt, you've lost 2 kilos. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? I want to really integrate technology with fashion. That's my main goal in the future. But I just know I need to do a lot of hustles to get there, because I know nothing about robotics, but I just got the idea. But I know there's somebody smarter than me who'll be able to put two and two together.
The only thing I'm afraid of is if that belt
Yeah.
told me that I gained weight. That's what I wouldn't want to hear.
No,
Maybe you could put like a mute function. It'll only tell me when I've lost weight and not when I've gained it. Like, I don't want to hear that. I just want to hear when I lost it.
no, of course. But it'll be both. It'll be both, man. And it'll purely be just a tracker. But I know you're fit anyway, so you'll be losing weight every time you wear that. Don't worry about it.
I mean, wow. I mean, just wow. Like all of those got like, it's all like so selfless, and it's all like really admirable as well. Like you wanna retire your mum. That is,
100%.
I mean, that's awesome. That's amazing. And then like it's all about giving back in some way, isn't it?
100%.
Like
Yeah.
retiring your mum, and then you basically want to set up like some form of like e-commerce school.
Yeah.
You know, to get other people like doing the same thing, like gaining that financial freedom and like learning about how to
100%.
make a digital income.
Yeah.
And to do with what they please. I mean, this is the great thing about digital income. Like you can kind of do with it what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
Like with Amazon, like people have it as a side hustle for that extra beer money at the weekends. People use it as a way to, you know, leave the like, I don't know, the store assistant job and then grow it onto like a full-time career, and it's their own business. And so it's
100%.
great that you want to get people to do the same thing. And obviously, as we talked about earlier, you've got your TikTok channel and such, whereby you sort of like document your journey and you help people
Yeah.
out and such. Do you get sort of like do you know that you've been helping people from what you've been doing already? Like, do you know that, you know, you've helped inspire someone to start, or maybe someone's had some questions and such, and you've been able to help them out?
Yeah, like even when I'm in the street, I would see somebody that obviously I'm familiar with. He hasn't just recognized me from TikTok. I'm not that big yet, but he has no absolute passion for business. He's got no way of sitting down for a good while and just looking for a new side hustle. He doesn't do that. He's the complete opposite. But he's told me before, Champion, I've seen your TikToks, I've seen you about Amazon. You need to come around one of these days and just put me on, because I see what you're doing. I've been watching your videos. I'm trying to put two and two together. But if you could just come and guide me and show me, like, Champion, this is where you're going wrong. No, obviously his name, this is where you're going wrong. I'm ready to start. And that's just one person. People in my DMs, I don't know where they're, direct messages on TikTok, I don't know where they're from. Some of them message me like, oh, it's good to see that you're doing this, man. Can you jump on a call quickly? You just explain it to me. And because I love the business model so much, I remember I want to start a consulting company. I just call them and I'll literally just tell them everything that I know. Don't charge them nothing. Because when I'm teaching them, one, I feel not fulfilled, but I feel like goosebumps just telling them the game. Because I knew at one point, I wish somebody could do that for me when I was just going through countless videos. There's another fella as well on my TikTok. His name's Daniel. I think he lives in Greenwich. Yeah, is that what the big clock is? He lives in Greenwich.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He's been following my TikToks for a good while. I've never met this fella before. He's literally met me on TikTok, and he knew nothing about Amazon. He still does deliveries for Waitrose and partners. And he told me, Shanton, I've been watching, this is on DM, Shanton, I've been watching your videos. I'm learning so much about Amazon. I've always wanted to make money, but I never knew what route to take. Do you mind, dropping me your phone number? We speak. Dropped him my phone number, called him one day, chopped it up with him for a good half an hour, just to not financially qualify him, because I'm not going to charge him for anything, but to actually see if he's actually hungry for it. And him being older than me, and the fact that he was speaking to me, I felt like it was my duty to just put him on, because I feel like, you know what, if you're not going to take advantage of this, it doesn't matter. At least I've given you all the tools that you need.
Yeah.
As soon as that phone call finished, and remember I was testing him to see if he was hungry. He started calling me. Hello, can we jump on another call? Got another call. Got to a point where I said, listen, we're not going to do phone calls because that's not in detail enough. So I started mentoring him. Literally charged him nothing, and I've been just teaching him the game. He knew absolutely nothing. We set up his account. We've done the little, go buy a few books, send those in, just get your feet wet, know how the pool process works. And now at the moment we're actually going through online arbitrage because I already done retail arbitrage. He was on FaceTime. He's in Tesco's. You know what I mean? I'm here at home, and he's doing retail arbitrage. And the little questions he's asking me. Now we're doing online arbitrage, and he's got a few more weeks left until I finish the whole process with him. And he asked me, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?" I told him, "Listen, one day I'm going to start a consulting company, and you're going to be not paying for anything. But the one thing I will want you to pay with is your testimony. I want you to be completely honest. If there's stuff I could have improved on, just let me know." He says, "Champton, I've absolutely got you, man. Because if you can do this out of the kindness of your heart, God will bless you in various other ways." So I just, I don't even know what you asked me, but I've almost forgot the question. But what I really love about this business model is, one, I'm helping myself. Two, I can help other people. And three, me helping other people they can also help other people. So I'm helping a lot of people indirectly. It's amazing, man.
Yeah. I mean, again, just like massive respect. I mean, massive respect to you for like just pretty much everything that you're doing. Like, because not only are you like, driving a business, like a successful business for yourself, you're helping others along the way, and then your aspiration is to help even more people.
It's my purpose, man.
Wow. And I
Because
guess like one of the biggest questions is because Amazon sellers, regardless of if they've been doing it for, I don't know, a couple of months, a year, a few years, you might be veterans. I mean, as with any business route that anyone takes, there's going to be good days, bad days, okay days.
100%.
And you've got like tons and tons and tons of drive. Like, do you ever find it tough to keep it up sometimes? Like, how do you keep going? Like, what do you do? Is there anything in particular that you do? Like, is there anything that you sort of like tell yourself, like, what is it that keeps you so driven?
It's gonna sound cheesy, but honestly, it's all the things I want to achieve. Like there may be times where I've sent a product in, and I've already calculated I'm meant to make a lot of money from this. By the time I've sent the product in, I'm gonna already win the buy. Sorry, I'm already gonna win the buy box by the time I've sent this product in. But as soon as it lands, there's so many other people tanking the price, and it can be so diminishing of one spirit. You know what I mean? It can make you feel like you're gonna lose all your energy. It's like, what's the point? Like, do I need to find a new side hustle? But I just always remember that, look, there's so much that I need to achieve, not just for myself, because yes, I need to retire my mom, but there's even people back home in Africa that also need to help. So it's big. It gets to a point where it's not about me. It's bigger than me. There's people that depend on me. You know what I mean? So the moment I just think of, this is too much, I think, okay, fine, I need to help them. And secondly, if I don't help them, what's the other option? If I don't take Amazon seriously, do a 9 to 5. Me doing a 9 to 5 personally, I believe that's selfish as hell because I'm not using my true potential. Because with a 9 to 5, I will not be able to retire my mom. So I know however hard it gets is why the reason billionaires still make money is because other people quit. And it's when people quit at that point is when you lose all hope. And the moment you quit, you're not never going to achieve your goals. You feel me? So I have to just keep on going. One, for everything I want to achieve, retiring my mom, helping people back home. And two, is because this is meant to be hard. And the harder it is, the more likely that you're probably going to want to quit. But if you persist it through, you're going to get your goals eventually. So it's bigger than me,
Yeah. And I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like, you got to power through. Like, don't quit. Like the point where you quit could have actually been, the turning point where everything goes like right uphill. So
100%.
I mean, essentially, just don't quit, guys. Don't quit. Like, keep going. And of course, I mean, you do a lot to help everyone, but you've also got softwares that help you as well. You mentioned price tanking. And I know that you use Profit Protector Pro since introducing that into your business, like price tanking. I'm sure like the worry of, oh no, the listing's going to get down. I'm sure that's just gone, gone.
Yeah, that anxiety part is gone because I know that, and that's why I love Profit Protector Pro. as long as you put the right things in place, you have not got to worry. Let them do whatever they've got to do. Profit Protector is always going to cover you. It's always going to make sure that you're always in profit, and it doesn't require you to do anything. It does it automatically. So
Yeah.
since then, I'm not afraid of price tankers because I know at the end of the day, I've got software. They probably are not aware of the software, and even if I start doing what they're doing, they're just going to go and manually reprice, where I can just sit back and let the software do the whole job for me. It's like having another employee within your business, but
Exactly.
much smarter than your average human. It's amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah. And obviously you said like some of the things that like make you really happy is like when you look at those like little orange bars on Amazon
Yeah.
and you know how much you made, like does it also like make you happy as well to see like the Profit Protector Pro boost figures, like how much extra it's like made you
Yeah.
winning the buy
Yeah.
box, bumping that price up?
100%. It's a
Yeah,
dopamine rush
it's
because
amazing.
with the Amazon stick, of course, I feel happy. That one's a serotonin release. But when I go on Profit Protector Pro and see, okay, fine, this is how much I've made. Yeah, that's dopamine all the way, man. Because it's a hit. It's like, wow, how much was I losing out when I wasn't using this software? And you start thinking how much money you leave on the table when you're not utilizing these softwares like Profit Protector Pro.
Yeah. And I mean, this is a question that I've asked everyone who's come on, and I need
Yeah.
to ask you. I need to keep this up.
Mm.
What is your favorite Profit Protector Pro repricing strategy, if you have one, or do you
Ooh.
use a mixture?
But I'll be honest, I don't really have a favorite. It's just whatever can do the job, that whatever can save me time. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And sometimes I'll do it randomly as well. I'll test this one, I'll test this one, I'll test this one. So I haven't really got a specific one.
Yeah.
They're all too good for me to just. It's like a favorite child. You can't choose one, you know?
Yeah. I mean, no,
And
that's pretty good. I mean, all of the strategies are useful. I mean,
yeah,
it just depends on what the scenario is and what it is that you want to achieve as well. Do you want to be more aggressive? Do you want to be more sales focused? Do you want to be more
yeah,
profit focused and you can afford to be a bit more laid back? Or do you want a bit of both? Like, you know,
100%.
it's just whatever it is that you need, which strategy for. So yeah, I mean it's great that you've been testing them all out and like mixing it up a bit. And I don't think anyone's ever answered like that actually. Everyone like, finds like that one and then they stick.
Yeah,
But I mean it's great that you actively use a mixture and you
you
just
have to.
switch them out to find the best the best one to use for that listing.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And sometimes, even if I could say one, let's say I did choose one, that same one that I choose won't be the same for another product. I may
Yeah.
have to use a different one. So you always have to just constantly testing. It's like changing AdSense. You just constantly testing, seeing the results. And that's why I just can't choose one, man. They're all too good.
And yeah, I mean, talking about changing stuff.
Yeah,
I think I don't know how long we've been going for at this point, but we're now going to bring it into the bit that everyone loves, our little entertainment aspect of these interviews.
let's
And I
do
know
it.
there's one question in particular that you've
Mm,
that you've been buzzing for. So talking of change, if you can have
yeah,
a superpower, any superpower,
yeah.
which one would you have and why?
Oh, okay, okay. If it was to have any superpower, I thought it was going to be another question. If it's to have any superpower, I would really, really, really love to be able to read thoughts. That's it,
Read thoughts.
100%.
You
Because
know,
if I can read thoughts, I don't want to say I can manipulate you, but I can influence you to do a certain thing. If you can read somebody's thoughts, you can sell anything to anybody.
yeah,
Because you can just read the objection and then be like, you may be thinking that you need to ask your wife this question, but let me tell you, your wife wants it. Like you can really run the world if you can read other people's thoughts. You know what other people are thinking. You know how you can tailor whatever you're selling towards them.
yeah. I mean, when I've been asked that question, like how many times I've been asked it in the past by whomever, I mean, it used to like when you're a kid, it's like, oh yeah, I want to have like super strength, and then but then
Yeah,
as you grow up and stuff, and you get asked those sorts of questions, like I would say like the past couple of times I've said something similar to that, the
yeah,
ability to sort of like just know what someone's thinking.
trust me.
I mean, for me, I mean, I wasn't actually thinking of it in that sort of sense. I was thinking about it, when someone just tells you something and
Yeah,
that's not like when someone says, "Oh no, it's fine," and it's not
yeah,
fine, but they
of
insist that it's
course,
fine. And if you could just read their mind, you know that it's not actually fine.
100%.
So I mean, that's why I choose that one.
Of
Uh,
course,
but
100%.
yeah, I mean, you also mentioned that you're quite into your clothes when you want to integrate like technology and clothes and stuff. Like,
Definitely.
and you've mentioned sort of like you know, the bra that can tell you, you know, you might potentially get a risk of cancer. The belt that tell you, that will tell you if you've lost weight, and you can mute it if you gain weight. Um, like what sort of like clothes are you like predominantly into? Like is it, I don't know, is it suits? Is it sort of like casual stuff? Is it
Yeah,
sportswear? Like what's you know your sort of like favorite kind of like clothes? Like if you could like dress me, for example, like what
yeah.
like in Champton like branded clothes, like what would it be? Would it be hoodies? Would it be blazers?
No,
What
of
would it be?
course. You see, now that question is very subjective. You see, because I would have to determine what tax bracket you're already see.
Right.
Because yeah, you see, let's say you're on the come, you're hustling, you know what I mean, you just definitely you probably a little tracksuit, maybe Jordans, a nice little Moncler jacket, something subtle, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But let's say you're upper echelon. Like, because when I get there, trust me, there'll be no more tracksuits. I'll be wearing those plain t-shirts, just a bit of jeans, and probably some sandals. You know what I mean? The way the billionaires dress. So it really depends on who your circle is, how much you're making, what your journey is like at that certain time. Because I really do believe that clothes is it's not just a fashion statement to say, oh yeah, I associate myself with this brand. It's also a reflection of where you are in life as well. You see,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't be. Look, man, this is what you're gonna be gonna tracksuits, blah blah blah, for the rest of your life. No, it's always gonna change. It's gonna evolve whilst your success and your finances also evolve with you. Well, I don't mean you're gonna get rich and then buy designer. No, screw that. Because the thing is, with the rich people, they don't do that. But when you're on a come up and you haven't had those things, then of course you may need something to motivate you even more, something to remind yourself, like, you know what, I've worked for this. Let me wear this. You see?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that's a good answer. I can't argue with
Yeah,
that one. I mean, I like the idea that you came up with, that you said earlier about was it like a heated, like a
yeah,
heated
heat and jacket.
jumper, and it was like
Yeah.
so
that was that was my first product. That's what made me want to get into the tech. Because I was
yeah,
trying to drop ship it, but I thought, screw drop shipping this heated one. Let me just slap my brand on there. Went to Alibaba, messaged some woman from Alibaba that was selling these jackets. I said, can you just add my logo to it? And from there, I added it, and I was trying to market it, trying to sell it. But remember, you need a lot of money to do this kind of marketing.
yeah,
All I had was a sample. So from that heated jacket, that's where my love for technology and fashion integrated, because we all wear fashion. It's
yeah,
not just boys and girls. It's not just a certain demo. Every single person wears clothes. And when I do bring technology and clothing, it won't just be to one, just streetwear. No, it won't just be to, or for athletes. No, it will be to every single fabric, whether you're in a suit, whether you're taking out the bins and you're wearing a high vis jacket, it's going to be on every piece of fabric. You know, we get to a point where my customer is not actually going to be the consumer themselves. It's going to be the actual brand that buys the technology so they can integrate it. But of course, it will be patented. I'll have the patent before they try and steal my stuff.
Do you know what I would really like to see you do? And I mean, have you seen the Back to the Future movies?
A while ago, I remember the Duran, the car,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good while ago though.
There's it's in the second movie where he puts a jacket on and it's a bit
Yeah.
loose on the sleeves, but it automatically adjusts the sleeves to like fit him, and then he
No
gets
way.
wet and then the jacket dries itself. I want to see you make something.
That's cold. That's cold. Somebody's probably already made a patent for it as well, man. Yo, that
Yeah,
is cold. That's the thing. That's what boggles my mind. It's like we see all these great ideas on TV and they try and play it off like sci-fi, but
yeah,
people can really do that, especially with the capital these big brands have got. They can really do that. Just throw 10 million in your research and development department and make this bloody product.
yeah.
But of course, they don't want to do that for us because they'd rather, you bloody use sweatshops and God knows what else and sell us a £200 t-shirt where they make it for $4 when they can really, really, really change people's lives by actually providing a solution, not just providing cotton and polyester, God knows what else, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious, like, what your like. I mean, I don't know if it's one that's already been mentioned, but like, what's like your ultimate idea for technology plus clothing combined? Like, do you have like this like masterpiece in your head of something that you want to be a reality in the future, or is it maybe it's something you've already mentioned? I'm not sure, but
Yeah, but most likely something that before anything else would definitely be, the bras that, alert you whether
yeah,
you're developing cancer or any other illnesses, you know what I mean? That one definitely, because instantly that solves a solution. Of course, the belt telling you whether you added weight or not, you don't really need it. You can just get some scales, But then, in order to actually be diagnosed with cancer, you have to go through a whole process, go to the doctors, have the check, get the scans done, blah, blah, blah. But if you could just wear a bra and
mm,
it tells you you're good, perfect. And you could save so many people's lives as well.
yeah,
So, because a lot of people have it and they just don't know until they finally get that check.
yeah.
Want to make sure it's never too late. But of course, at the same time, that's a big responsibility, because if people wearing that and relying on that to tell them, and if there's ever malfunction, damn, yeah, just know that company would have to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
I mean, it's a great idea. I mean, I've not really heard anything like it before, but like, what a great idea. I mean, who knows? Maybe someone happens to watch it. Maybe not now. Maybe at some point
Yeah,
in
somebody might
years time,
steal that.
maybe someone's going to watch this and be like, "We need to reach out to Champton. Like, we can make this a thing." I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, maybe that's
that would
something.
be dark, man. I'd love
If
that.
you can help Champton make this a reality, please do so.
Thank
Um,
you.
but yeah, I mean, I speaking of like reaching out to you and such,
Yeah,
I think we should wrap this up. But before we do that,
yeah.
obviously, as we know, Champton's got a TikTok channel, and I can 100 million% vouch for it. Um, his content is amazing. He's very real with the information that he gives, as you can probably tell from this interview with him. And he's super eager to help anyone out. Like, I mean, just look at his face; he's really excited about being able to talk about all this stuff and sharing his knowledge and the passion for making a digital income with anyone. So yeah, Champton, if you wouldn't mind, just let us know where
Absolutely.
people can find you and your channel names.
So everybody can find me on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. My name is Shampton, but my username handles are champtonfba. No other underscores, no numbers, nothing. Shampton FBA. If you see other variations, they're fake accounts.
Yep.
And that's on all platforms. Shampton FBA. ChamptonFBA.
Perfect. Yeah, so go ahead and give him a follow. And I will also include the links to all of his social medias in the description below. Champton, once again, a massive thank you for coming on. This has been a really good session. I mean, what a story. Like, you've literally done so much. Like, you've done a lot more than most people sort of like your age. So
Thank you.
massive hats off to you. Keep going. Before we wrap up, is there anything else that you want to say?
I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer? The ability to fly or the ability to be invisible?
Ah. Okay. If we're doing it this way, fly or invisible. You
Let's
see,
see.
if you had asked me years ago, I would have said invisible, but now I'd say fly. But I want it to be like I don't want to just sort of like float around and like flap like a useless bird. I want it to be, what I'm getting from A to B. I'm gonna fly,
Yeah,
zoom, done.
quickly.
Partly because, if I fancied it, I could just, fly into the sky, just check out everything below. Like
100%.
being in a plane, everything just looks great when you're up there. So that's part of why I choose it now, because I just love to see like everything from above. And then, holiday, don't have to faff around with Ryanair anymore. Like, boom, done. Like, yeah.
That's
And say back
crazy.
to you, like, would you fly or would you be invisible?
Same as you, man. Fly,
Yeah,
100%. Because you can make something invisible. That's easy, but that's the easy part. But being able to fly, that's absolutely ridiculous.
yeah,
The only way you can, if you don't fly and you choose the invisible method, and you try to learn how to fly, you'll need a jetpack. But in order to make something invisible, all you need is a camera. Let's just be realistic. You know what I mean? Let's say my hand. We want to make my hand invisible. I will stick 1 million cameras here that will showing the other side of my hand. And it will look like my hand's invisible. So that's easy. But being able to fly, that's absolutely ridiculous. Like the views, anybody annoys you, just go all the way up. You know what I mean? Like instead of going for a walk, go for a quick flight. That's ridiculous. Honestly.
yeah. Sorry, honey. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Just popping for a fly. Have to
Absolutely.
agree.
Yeah, man. Love that.
Awesome. So yeah, once again, a massive thank you for having joined me. All of Champion socials are in the description. Obviously this is going in our Amazon Seller Journey playlist. If you want to watch any of our sessions again, they're also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you look up the Online Arbitrage podcast, I do put them all up there. We are up to date at this point. So yeah, Champions will be going up next. And yeah, once again, massive thank you. Thank you to everyone that watched as well. And we'll see you all very soon.
Thank you so much, man. It's been a pleasure, man. Take care of yourself, brother.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, brother.